Hello, it's Edmund and Lucy here, and welcome to another episode for my Narnia Reviews. Today I'm going to be talking about the books, the 7 books, so the order of which you can read them, and obviously the main plots. Just so you know, there is going to be spoilers, so if you haven't read the books or not watched the movies, I advise that you probably don't watch the video. So I'm going to talk about quickly the 2 orders that you can read the books. Now, there is the publication order, and there's chronological order. Now, publication order is obviously Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, Prince Caspian, Dawn Treader, Silver Chair, Horse and His Boy, Magician's Nephew, and The Last Battle. Chronological order is Magician's Nephew, Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, Horse and His Boy, Prince Caspian, Voyage of the Dawn Treader, Silver Chair, and Last Battle. I will link in the description below basically Glumpuddle's videos regarding the reading order and why it changed and everything like that. He explains it a lot more better than what I do. But yeah, this video is simply going to be talking about each of the books, and obviously probably my top 3 favourite ones. So the first book is Magician's Nephew. So obviously this is the first book in chronological order, and it's the 6th book in publication order. Now, before I continue, obviously publication order is the order of which the books were written. Chronological order is the order of which the events happen. So part of you probably thinking, well, wouldn't it make sense to read it in the order of which everything happens? Technically yes, but you can tell when you read the books, there's a lot of instances where you can tell they were written in a specific order. So you can read them in either order. I mean, it's completely up to you, the reader. But personally, I would read them in publication order because you get a lot more experience, and if you read them in chronological order, there's some stuff that might not make sense. So this is obviously the first book, well, in chronological order, 6 in publication order. So Magician's Nephew, so it basically tells the origin of the wardrobe. Obviously you learn more about Diggory Kirk, you know, the professor in Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. You learn more about him as a child. You learn about, you know, how Jadis came into Narnia, how you know, Aslan created Narnia. You learn everything. Basically, it's essentially the origin story. It's a very good read. You know, I highly enjoyed Magician's Nephew. So there you go. That's obviously the first one. The second one is The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. Yes, I do own the movie cover book. So this is the first in publication order, and it's the second in chronological. So obviously, Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe focuses on the Pevenses. You know, you've got Peter, Susan, Edmund and Lucy. And basically they're taken to the countryside during World War II. You know, they're sent away from London to escape the bombs. And they're sent to the countryside where, you know, it's safe, you know, it's pretty quiet. You know, they'll be safe over there, essentially. And one by one they discover Narnia, and obviously they eventually all do go to Narnia together, and they essentially become like the heroes of the story. Lion, the Witch and Wardrobe is probably the best known. I mean, unlike, you know, Magician's Nephew, it's never been adapted into a film or TV series. Wardrobe is probably the best known book. There's several adaptations. Obviously there's the Disney one, there's the BBC one, there's the animated one, there's obviously the 1967 one. There's various, you know, radio productions and theatre productions of it as well, so it's probably the best known one out of the 7, I'd say. Book number 3 is Horse and His Boy. So again, this is the 5th book in publication order, and it's the 3rd in chronological. This story takes place essentially during the Pevenses' reign whilst they're kings and queens. So obviously they do appear, but only briefly. But it focuses on obviously other characters. Horse and His Boy I've only read once. I can't really remember the main plot, but I do know it's obviously about these 2 children who essentially are travelling. And it obviously does take place, like I said, during the Pevenses' reign. Book number 4 is Prince Caspian. Yes, I do own again the movie cover book. So this is obviously set a year after Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. So obviously the Pevenses are back in their own world. They're called back to Narnia, where, you know, it's only been a year for them. Yet in Narnia it's been over 1,000 years, so everything they knew, everything they knew, everybody they knew, you know, is no longer there. You know, everything's changed. So essentially it's the Penmanses have got to help Prince Caspian defeat his Uncle Miraz, and obviously to help Caspian get the throne. The next book is The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. I do on the movie book again, as you can see. So obviously Prince Caspian before was 2nd publication order, and it was 4th in chronological. So here we have Dawn Treader. So obviously Dawn Treader's 3rd publication order, and it's 5th in chronological. In this story, Edmund and Lucy, along with their annoying cousin Eustace, they transported to Narnia to basically help Caspian and his ship crew find Caspian's father's friends, you know, the 7 missing lords, and hopefully find Aslan's country. Unlike the movie, which is completely different, but you know, I've already discussed about the movie. The next book is The Silver Chair, my favourite story in the entire series. The Silver Chair is 4th publication, and it's 6th in chronological. Silver Chair obviously focuses on Eustace and his friend Jill, and they're transported to Narnia to help locate the missing Prince Rilian, who is Caspian's son and only heir. You know, I absolutely love this story. Like, it's just my favourite in the entire series. I don't know what it is, but it is definitely my favourite one. I could read that time and time again. And the last book, of course, is The Last Battle. So obviously, in both publication and chronological, it's both the last book. So obviously, as you can tell, obviously it's the last battle of Narnia, and obviously going into the new Narnia and everything else. Again, I've only read this once. So I don't really know the full thing of it. I can't really remember it. It's been a while since I've read them. But there you go. That's pretty much all 7 books there. You know, obviously some books have never had an adaptation. You know, there's obviously other books that have. Obviously, Silver Chair, you know, if you don't know by now, Silver Chair is obviously in the works. It's going to be coming out probably in the next number of years. So there you go. That's basically a quick summary of the books. Now, my 3 favourite books. Obviously, my first favourite is, of course, Silver Chair. I cannot express my love for this book. I could read this book time and time again. So that's definitely my number 1 favourite. My second favourite has to be Dawn Treader. Essentially because of the longing for Aslan's country. And just the story, just the way it's written, just the way the characters sort of, you know, just the way the characters are in the book. It's so smart. You know, compared to the movie, it was just not good. I mean, compare the movie to the book. That's what I meant. And my... Where is it gone? Yeah, and probably my 3rd favourite is Wardrobe. Because obviously, you know, it's probably the main one everyone knows about. So there you go. That's pretty much my quick reviews of the books. So I will be doing a few more of these because obviously there's still not much news. I'm going to do merchandise. So obviously merchandise I have. Obviously you've seen that I've got the books and the movies, but I've got a couple of other bits as well, so I want to show you guys. And I will be doing the video games as well. So stay tuned for that. So like I said, I'll link Glumpuddle's video about the books and the reading order and everything in the description below, so check that out. Thank you for watching. You know, like, subscribe if you want, and I'll see you all later. Further up, further in.